Thank you for tuning in to another episode of A Business Minute. I'm your host, sir, and today I'm joined by Miss Docia Miskov. How are you today, ma'am?
Wonderful.
Thank you. And once again, it's a pleasure to have you today. And Miss Docia, if you would, tell us what is the name of your business?
Our current business is Gulf Coast Expos. We put on large events with multiple vendors in different aspects for the community. Currently, we're doing the Gulf Coast Mardi Gras Expo, and in September of 2019, we'll be doing the Gulf Coast Hunting and Fishing Expo.
Awesome. All right. And Miss Docia, how long have you guys been active?
This is our second year working in the Expo arena. Started developing it, looking at trying to connect vendors with clients in a different capacity. So that's why I originally created the Mardi Gras Expo to connect event service providers with those Mardi Gras societies to expand their business throughout the year.
All right, awesome. And so I wanted to ask, what inspired you to get started in the field on your own?
Well, I worked a 9 to 5 and enjoyed it and have it as a career, but also had a passion to be creative and innovative and make my own schedule and be my own boss and reach out to people in the community in a variety of different ways. Our first company is Staff Bar Company, which is a bar catering company. We got our roots over at the Hangout Music Festival when they first originated over 10 years ago, and that company began to grow on a year-round basis and is, of course, every year growing larger. And in looking for Mardi Gras societies to connect with, it occurred to me, well, why don't I help connect all these societies with local vendors across the Gulf Coast so that they also have the same benefits of being able to reach out to multiple societies at one time.
Oh, that's wonderful. That definitely, makes it easier for everyone. All right. So I wanted to ask, with getting started, in the last couple of years, were there any obstacles that you did encounter along the way?
I'd have to say absolutely. I think that a lot of times as an entrepreneur or a person that's starting things that are from scratch, that are from grassroots, it's hard when you don't have a manual to follow, when you don't know what to charge for pricing, when you don't know how to negotiate with the client because you don't want to lose the deal, but yet you still don't want to scrimp or sacrifice on your service or what your business is worth. So I think that's been one of our biggest issues in general, is asking for what you're worth, not being scared to do market research and see what they charge around the nation. And comparatively, it is the Deep South, and we may have a little bit of a different market, but at the same aspect, you should be charging similar to what other places are around the country. And I think that once you have confidence in your pricing and when you speak to your clients about what your services or products are worth, I think that they take you more seriously when you yourself have confidence and are secure in asking for what you're worth.
All right. Well, I definitely believe that as well. So that leads me to my next question. You mentioned that you also have done, work 9 to 5 as well. So how do you manage to balance work and your personal life?
Besides not sleeping, I have an internal drive. I'm one of those people that if I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, I start thinking, and I'm just have this fire and this intensity to be creative and to expand upon things. And the more you're kind of open to that fire and that passion, the more you're open to more ideas that help connect you in other ways, and your business starts growing. And you make time for what you want to make time for. I feel like, everybody does kind of need, or most people need a 9 to 5 to get them through, but it's not necessarily fulfilling in the sense of doing what they may be passionate about or having their dreams come to fruition. So, you have to get up in the morning an extra 30 minutes to make those phone calls or emails or Facebook a post. You have to be able to make those phone calls on the way home when you're tired, or stay up late to talk to a client. You make your business what you want. Your success is determined by as much effort as you put into something.
I definitely agree with that. So that leads me to my next question. What experience in the last couple of years would you find to be the most memorable?
I think to me, the best part of all of this is helping people. In the staffing company for bar catering, we help people sustain their incomes. A lot of these parents are single parents, both men and women, and it helps them provide more for their children on a part-time basis. Working with the Expo arena, with Gulf Coast Expos, we help businesses grow their business, and that affects them long-term. We also have and accept charities and nonprofits at our events, and that helps those organizations grow and become larger. So to me, it is nice to make money, but it's almost like an afterthought. Like the exciting part of it to me is being able to help people in our community grow and succeed, and then together we're stronger as a community. So if I can encourage that in a way, if I can support someone, if I can help network and connect people or businesses to other clients and help grow their business, then in turn it benefits and makes me happy.
All right. And Docia, I totally understand being able to give back to the community. We recently attended an event hosted by Ambitiously Him and Her, and they invited us to come, and oh my goodness, to see the outcome and see everyone smiling and supporting, is definitely wonderful to see everything fall in line. So I definitely agree. So, but on the flip side of that, I do have to ask, at any point in time during this period, did you feel that you wouldn't be successful? And if so, who or what changed your mind?
Absolutely. I think it never ends. I mean, you can be on top of the mountain at 5 p.m. and at 8 p.m. have a client or a sale fall through, and you feel like you're a failure. That never ends. I think that's just par for the course. Especially when you are forging your own path, when you're doing something that no one else has done and you don't have a map to follow. There's going to be times when you did quote the wrong price, or you came off too strong, or not strong enough, and you were too vague or not clear. So you just have to not give up and not kind of judge yourself amongst your peers, because they're all fighting their own battles. You have to just say, in this moment, I'm happy and I'm doing what I can. And looking back at our pictures and our posts and our events from the previous years, I'm like, wow, that's where we started. And look at all this that we've accomplished. My husband is my co-owner for Staff Bar Company. Michelle Mural of Southern View Media is my partner for the Gulf Coast Mardi Gras Expo. And as a partnership and working with a team, you can accomplish so much more. But at times you do get discouraged and you feel like you're not going to be successful or make that money. And there's going to be days like that, and that's just part of what it is. But you just can't give up, and you just have to say there's a passion and a fire within me for a reason, and I'm going to keep pursuing it until it's gone.
Yes, ma'am. All right. I love that. So, Docia, this next question thinks along the lines in terms of long term. So, where would you like to see your business in 1 year, 3 years, and then 10 years?
10 years seems so far away. Within a year, Gulf Coast Expos is currently forming. My ultimate goal is, of course, like I said, to affect the community and to bring about new events that affect multiple businesses. My ultimate goal, long term, I would say, realistically probably 10 years or so, is to move the events to places that are so large that we can barely hold all the vendors. My goal is to sponsor multiple things around town and other festivals and other community projects and organizations without even a blank. Just give that money, give our time, give of our resources at a larger level. I look at icons in our community like Scott Tyndall of Gulf Coast Ducks in the Fort, Alec Naiman of Naiman's Catering, all these people around town that have worked so hard and have been in the industry for so long, and they're icons. When they walk into a room, people know who they are. It's not just about recognition, but it is one of my goals to leave a legacy for my children in this area, to go by a building and say, I remember when the Chamber of Commerce first, started its beginnings, or when the fort wasn't the fort, or, and so on. Like, I want to be part of Mobile's culture, and so even when I passed on, that there's still that legacy of who I was, and the teams that I created, and the events that we made, and how, even when I'm older and gray and can't be on Facebook, I'll still have this company and these events to further my ideas.
All right. And I will always be on Facebook, even when I'm older and gray.
Probably so. I'll be on Facebook. It'll be something.
It'll be something cooler by then. All right. And Ms. Docia, this final question I always dedicate to that one person listening who's on the cusp of taking that leap of faith. So what words of encouragement would you have for that person who's just now thinking about taking that step?
I've been thinking about that for a couple days now, and I know this sounds a little cheesy, but I think you have to realize that the sky is the limit. And I mean that in the sense that if you can dream it, you can achieve it. We're told our whole lives that we have to clock in, that we have to make money a certain way, that we have to belong to a bigger corporation or company, but that's not true. With the internet, with social media, with the ability to travel and technology, you literally can be everywhere at once. And a lot of times I think people are so limited by their creativity or their fears. It doesn't have to be that way. Like, literally, if you dream it, you want it to happen, it can be real. It's just a matter of you putting in that time, that effort, and believing in yourself to make it happen.
Yes, ma'am. All right. I love that response. And Ms. Docia, I wanted to ask if any of our listeners wanted to contact you, just if they had any general questions, or they may have a general business opportunity they want to share with you. How could they get in touch with you?
Absolutely. Our expo for Mardi Gras Expo will be held October 21st. Our website for that is mardigras.expo.com. You can also email me at gcmardigras.expo.com for Gulf Coast Mardi Gras Expo, and give us a shout out to the podcast, and then we'll give you my personal cell if you have some of your own questions.
Absolutely. We definitely will. Listen, Ms. Docia, it's been a pleasure telling your story. Thank you again for taking time out of your weekend to give us the opportunity to do this. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for the opportunity.
All right. Well, Ms. Docia, you have a great day. And thank you again. God bless.
You too. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.